Put your makeup on, get your nails done, curl your hair, run the extra mile, keep it slim so they like you. Do they like you?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Saturday morning show. My name is Bola. This is our very first episode and we're going to be talking about the dream life. On every episode we started out with the gist, and today's gist is essentially everything that today's episode is about. This is my dream life that has now become a reality. I'm super excited to go on this journey with all the episodes that we're going to be working on, and my amazing guests are also going to be here, and we're going to be talking about how they have turned their dreams into reality, and I'm going to be sharing my experiences as well. And so we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome everyone. I'm here with Felipe and Miriam, and we're going to be talking about the dream life today. So my first question I'll start with Felipe is, what is your dream and how long have you had this dream?
Well, I think defining a dream is such a hard thing to say. I have many dreams. I don't believe I have one dream, but my one dream that for me is to seek fulfillment for my parents. I really want to see them happy, and I really want to make them proud. And out of that dream, I can scope out my other dreams around that. So if I would define it on one big dream, what's my biggest dream is see mom and dad proud.
Wow. What about you, Miriam?
That totally tops mine. I've always had a dream of having a beauty business, but it was always a joke. Everyone always asked me, what are you going to do after school? Studying electrical engineering. But, it was just, I'm going to have my own salon and do people's makeup, but it was never really anything into it.
Okay, so you said until recently, so how did you take dream life and make it into real life?
Like I said, it was completely a joke. I just bought a couple of palettes, put it on myself, but it didn't look good. So I just kept buying more stuff and buying more stuff and buying more stuff. Once I got better, watched videos, talked to other people, that's how it all started.
Nice. And what about you, Felipe? Is there anything that you've thought of or imagined and you are now doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when I moved to Canada about 5 years ago, and I completely had no idea where life was going to take me, but I knew I wanted to explore and I knew I wanted to be adventurous, and I thought of exploring several different parts of the planet that I imagined that I would be going, and it happened. I was lucky and worked hard enough to combine my education and my work with my passion for traveling and my passion for hiking and going abroad. And I had this vision one day where I would be on a plane and I would be going and not really coming back, and I guess I never went back to Brazil, so I guess that just happened. But yeah, that was my vision, I think, 5 years ago, where I wanted to be, and I think I'm pretty set on a path now.
So essentially you just woke up one morning, you're in Brazil, having a good time, and then you just decided, I'm going to just get on a plane and just
it wasn't, planning a trip abroad when you're 17, it is not as simple as that. It took a lot of preparation, it took a lot of convincing with my parents, but the original plan was to come here to Calgary for only 5 months. That was the original plan, and that was what I left home with. That was all I was going to be gone for. But then life happens, I think things started to escalate quickly here in Canada, and then one day I woke up and I realized I want to be here for a long time, perhaps the rest of my life. And yes, so the wake-up call wasn't in Brazil. The wake-up call was here in Canada when I was already here. That I decided I wanted to pursue further education and pursue my career in here.
Okay, so I'm going to stay on Felipe a little bit more. I have a question on how did your parents react to your being 17 and deciding you're going to leave everything that's known to you to expose yourself to a total unknown?
Well, I think that my parents, they understood that at every single time that I've either moved to Canada or moved to a different country, it was never a matter of them telling me, you have to go. It always it always came within myself. So moving to Canada, it was something I wanted to do. And I was lucky, and I'm very lucky and very thankful to have parents that are very supportive of every decision. If I call my parents right now and say that I'm opening a hair salon, they'll be like, awesome, that's fantastic. As long as I have a plan, and as long as I'm safe and doing everything on a moral and ethical way, they will support me in anything that I do. So they reacted a little bit shocked. They were a little bit, I wouldn't say disappointed, but they were sad because their only kid was moving to another continent, a very cold one. But I think at the end of the day, they were very happy that I was branching out, and I was pursuing something that made me very happy. And that's what it matters to them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Miriam? Because you said you have an engineering degree, and I know engineering ranks at one of the top 5, careers that you should have, especially if you're from like an African background. How do your parents react to engineering degree, but dream life is makeup?
I think at first they were completely shocked. Because I wasn't the type of person that put on makeup or was into all that kind of beauty stuff. But yeah, my mom was very supportive. My dad was still a little bit like, you're gonna be touching people's faces. But yeah, they're supportive. They're very supportive now. They just ask for my schedule. They don't want to know when I'm busy. And yeah, it was completely different from what I imagined. Like, oh yeah, you sent you to engineering school and now you're going to come back and, start painting people's faces. It turned out well. They were very supportive.
Cool. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to jump right into it when we come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. My name is Bolly. You're still watching the Saturday Morning Show. I'm here with Felipe and Marian. Now, when we went on the break, we were talking about challenges to the dream life, and I'll start out by sharing one of mine. One of my biggest challenges to making my dream life a reality is, I don't want to say self-esteem, but just believing that you can do it. There's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of doubts, there's a lot of questioning yourself. If I branch out, if I even declare my dream, will people take me seriously? Especially in a world where everybody wants to aim for the sky and build things and be an astronaut or an architect, and you say that you want to make movies. Coming from the kind of background that I come from, most people, not my parents, most people in the society would hear that and think, really? You want to make movies though? Oh, okay. And there's this off-putting tone people have when they say it. It's off-putting. Like, bad enough you're already struggling to think, oh my gosh, can I do this? And opening your mouth to say, I'm going to do this is such a risk. And you open your mouth and the first thing you hear is, are you sure you want to do that? So now I'm gonna ask you guys, how has it been? Like, what challenges have you faced? Have people been generally supportive of your dream life? Have people always encouraged you, or have you even had moments where you wanted to quit? So I was out of Miriam.
For me, it was, my friends were very supportive, and my parents too were supportive. I think it was just maybe random people who ask you, oh, so what do you want to do? And then you tell them and they're like, oh, okay, well what about your degree though? So that was it for me. Challenge, quitting. I thought about quitting because of my clients, not personally because of people around me, but I've had good support so far. Yeah.
Great. And what about you?
Well, I think that for me, my biggest struggle when it comes to finding motivation and challenges is what people think. And I think that's, again, you set expectations a lot higher for yourself, and then once reality is not up to expectation, then at least personally, unconsciously, I find that people are judging. I find that people are, again, what about your degree though? What about this? What about that? And just like, but focus on this. Like, I'm telling you my idea, I'm telling you about my dream, I'm telling you what I'm building, but yet you keep focusing on what I've studied and what I've done in the past. So for me, I've been working really hard on ignore everything and everyone and go and drive and just go for it. And that's a big challenge that I think a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people that have higher expectations face. They just can't let it go. They can't ignore everyone.
Voices of every other person.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What would you suggest as a good way to overcome this? So say, for example, I read a lot of books, and so sometimes when I'm not certain or I'm even doubtful of myself, I would go to the library and I would go into the section and ask, okay, some other people have quit their jobs, or they've done what I'm trying to do, or they've been through this experience. I'm going to pull a book off the shelf, I'm going to read their story and see if there's anything that they felt that I'm feeling and how they got through it, right? That's what I would do. And if somebody asked me a question, I would say read. But what would you suggest to someone? How would you encourage someone who's watching, who feels that they have ideas, they have dreams, they have goals, and they just don't know how to go about it?
Well, I think most importantly, it's finding a mentor. I find that's crucial. I think that people often underestimate the power of proper mentorship. And I was speaking with a friend the other day about sending messages to random people around the community that hold positions that they want to have. So let's say you want to build a hair salon or a makeup studio. The first thing I would personally do is go talk to these owners of the shops and go talk to that have done that kind of thing, so get an idea of how they got there. Because there's very high likelihood of a chance that that person's path is going to look very similar to yours if you're trying to build something that they already built. And in entrepreneurship, it works the same way, in my opinion. I think seeking proper mentorship, especially at early stages of a dream, at early stages of building something, it's important to get the foundation right so you don't run into bigger challenges in the future. So if I would suggest one thing to a person just watching TV and saying, oh, that looks pretty cool, I want to build that, I want to make that, I want to go for that, talk to someone that has done it, or talk to someone that has been there. And it's, out of 10 people you leave a message, one of them will get back to you.
Sure. Yeah. What about you, Miriam? What do you think?
Like they always say, you should keep people with similar goals around you.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely helps. Like you said, reading a lot of books too. And I think you need to have that goal in mind. You have to be focused, because if it's just something on the side, you're like, oh, whatever, I'll get back to this, or you won't make it anywhere. So you have to be focused on your dream, and also be educated. Whatever you're doing, make sure you have enough information to make sure you're going the right path and you're doing the right thing.
You want to add some?
Yeah, well, I want to talk about sacrifice.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, right? I mean, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want a nice body? How bad do you want to open your own business? How bad do you want to finish your degree? Do you want it bad enough that you don't go out on Friday night with your buddy? Do you want it bad enough that you don't sleep until 12 o'clock on a Saturday? Like, how bad do you want it? If you want that really bad, you won't even think about doing other things. All your time, all your effort, and everything you're going to be thinking about is going to be towards that goal. So it comes down to how bad do you want it?
That is really, really true. I mean, I know my dad has always used to tell me that when you love what you do, you don't think about it. It's not a chore. It's not work anymore. You stay up. You want to stay up till 2 in the morning, making sure that you're right, making sure that your plan is great. And it's true what you said. It's really valuable what you said, that it's not even, you can't use the word sacrifice for it. You're just building your future, and it's worth everything that you do. We're gonna go on a quick break, and we'll be right back after this message. Welcome back, everyone. This is Saturday morning show. So my question is, in the next 5 years, where do you see yourself? So I'm gonna start with.
Well, in 5 years, I definitely see myself pursuing further education, a couple professional designations, a master's degree, but I can't tell you exactly where I see myself, because there are certain things in life that you can't control. And again, I can tell you that I wanted this, I wanted that, and I wanted that. However, I can only control what I'm going to do, what I have control over my life. But again, I may be diagnosed with cancer in a week from today, and my 5-year plan will change. So what I can tell you today is that I'm going to be focusing on my education, pursuing further education in a master's degree in science or management, and that's all I can say. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to be pursuing a CEO job, a CFO job, whatever that's going to look like, because I cannot control that. I can control my own development, I can control my education, I can control decisions I make today. But again, I can be driving home today and I can get in an accident. There's no 5 year. There's no 5 year for. There's no 5 year plan for me. My 5 year plan might be walk again. So that's my 5 year goal, I guess.
Sure. Okay.
I'd also like to have a dog in 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, that would be really quite.
What kind of dog?
I want a bulldog. Yeah. Like I really think those dogs are really great for the type of mountaineering thing I like to do. So it'd be nice to have a dog to hike with me.
Okay, so then hiking will be foreseeable future.
Oh yeah. I guess foreseeable future, like next weekend, yes.
Do you have a specific mountain that you want to have climbed in the next
in the next 5 years, I would like, and I think that's gonna happen. I would like to either summit Kilimanjaro or spend some time in the Nepalese Himalayas again. It was a region that I really enjoyed exploring, but now I want to go do something a little bit more intense, I guess.
Intense.
Go a little bit higher.
Higher,
Yeah,
wow,
I like
intense and higher.
But yeah, well, we'll see. But life changes, and we'll see what's gonna happen. But trying to live the present, I guess, a little bit more.
That's fair. That makes a lot of sense. What about you, Miriam?
For me, ideally, I want to be a CEO.
You already are. Your own business. You're in your own business.
I would want to have my own brand where I can teach others my techniques, and maybe 5 years.
So at that time, like the business is established, you can chill and be like, oh my gosh, there's a wedding. You just text someone and be like, you better be there at 8 in the morning. Because I'm getting my beauty sleep and I don't want to think about this right now. That is
I think
fair.
it's still going to be stressful, but it's okay. It's what I want.
Well, that's a good place to be in the next 5 years. And before I let you guys go, we have our Saturday morning questions that we ask all of the guests that come. And so the question is, on a Saturday morning, what would we find you doing? To ask for you guys first.
Probably biking or hiking.
Yeah?
Yeah, or enjoy a nice cup of coffee at my home.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And what about you, Miriam?
Probably waking up. I'm hauling my case up the stairs to my car, going to a client.
So Saturday mornings are for weddings and parties.
Exactly.
That's great. That's great. That's all the time that we have today. And I can't wait to share all our episodes with you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave comments below. And if you have any topics you would like us to talk about, just send us an email. And have a great Saturday, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Number 1, prioritize your goals. Number 2, wake up early. A bright mind, early to shine. It's always good. Third one is focus and ignore the naysayer, ignore people that are, I guess that would be the fourth one, I guess. And be thankful. Always be thankful for what you have and work hard.